Hello everyone, welcome geometry students. We are moving right along to the next unit. So we are on unit 6, quadrilaterals. Highly recommend try to get on top of it with these notes. Watch those videos at home. I know it's a lot to keep watching these videos at home. Just keep on trucking, guys. We're doing the best we can, okay? So we've got day 1A and 1B today, and then we'll do day 2 and 3 next time. So what I'd recommend is once you have a day done, make a check mark for yourself. So then you know that you completed it. So then you can move along and see where you're at with getting your notes accomplished. Okay, so this checklist is for you. All right, so day 1A is angles of polygons. So the sum of interior angles. So all the inside angles added together is we use this equation, n minus 2 times 180. And n equals the number of sides. Okay, and this is for convex polygons. So that's when all the angles are pushed out and they're not concave, they're not inward. So it only works for convex polygons. Okay, and I also gave you this chart, so then you can use this chart and know the number of sides. Okay? All right, so let's work on example 1. So find the sum of the measures of an interior angles of a nonagon. So a nonagon, let's look. Nonagon means 9. So I have n minus 2 times 180, and I'm going to plug 9 in for n. Okay, and then I have 7 times 180. Okay, so let's put that in the calculator. So 7 times 180, and that equals 1,260 degrees. So that is the sum of interior angles, which means all the angles added up inside a 9-sided polygon. Okay, let's try the next one. So find the measure of each interior angle of the parallelogram. Okay, well first we need to see what is the sum. Well, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have 4 sides. So 4 minus 2 times 180. Again, I'm plugging in 4 for the n, for the number of sides. So then I'd get 2 times 180, and that is 360. So 360 degrees, all of these added together. Okay, so now I need to find the value of x. So first what I'm going to do is add all the x's together, combine like terms. So 5, 11, 11, and 5. So I've got 10 plus 22, which is 32. So I've got 32x, okay? And now I'm going to combine the constants. So I have 4 and 4, which would be plus 8. Okay, and now I'm going to solve this. I'm going to subtract 8 to both sides. I have 32x equals 352. And then I'm going to divide 32 to both sides. And I get x equals 11. Okay? All right, now I'm going to plug it back in to each of the, I'm going to plug 11 back in for each of the x's and find the value of each angle. Okay? So 5 times 11 is 55. So that's for each of these angles. So angle T and angle R are 55 degrees. All right. And then we have 11 times 11, which is 121 plus 4. And then these are 125. If you want to check that you got them correct, well, you would add up all the angles. So 125, 55, 125, and 55. And that should give you 360. Okay? All right, now let's try the next one. So now we're dealing with an octagon. Okay, so an octagon, so think of like a stop sign. So octagon is 8 sides, octagon. Okay, so let's find the sum. All right, let me get this in there. Perfect. All right, so we are now going to find the sum of the measures of interior angles of a convex octagon. So I'm going to plug 8 into our equation. 8 minus 2 is 6, and then 6 times 180. Plug that into our calculator. So 6 times 180 is 1,080. All right, and then it says find the value of x. Okay? Oh, so that was the sum of the measures of the octagon. Okay? And then that's all you do. The next one, it says find the value of x. Well, again, this is a quadrilateral. Quadrilaterals have 4 angles inside. And quadrilaterals, that's why there's a whole unit on, guys, because quadrilaterals look different. The one above was a parallelogram. This is a trapezoid, which is my favorite shape. I love a trapezoid. I think they're super fun. So quadrilaterals add up to 360, what we found out previously, okay? And then how did I know that? Well, 4 minus 2, plugged in the 4, and then 2 times 180, well, that was 360. So I'm going to combine like terms, so I'm going to add the x's, so 3x, 6x, 6x, and 10x. So I have 12 plus 10 is 22, and then plus 3 is 25x. So I got 25x. Okay, and then I only have one constant, which is this minus 15, and that all adds up to 360. Okay, so what is the opposite of negative 15? Well, that's positive 15, so I'm going to do 360 plus 15. I get 25x, so 25x equals 375. And I'm going to divide 25 to both sides. And x equals 15. 15? That makes sense. Yes, words and stuff. 15. X equals 15. Magical. So you can find the sum of interior angles. You can find the solution of x. What if it asks you to find the value of each angle? Well, then you would plug x back in to the angle it wanted. All right, moving right along to example 2. So a mall is designed that 5 walkways meet at a food court that is the shape of a pentagon. Okay? A pentagon. Find the measure of one of the interior angles. Well, pentagon, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. A pentagon has 5 sides. Okay? And we want to figure out the measure of one of the interior angles. Well, first we need to find the sum. So I have 5 minus 2 times 180. Then I have 3 times 180. So let's figure out what that is. So 180 times 3 is 540. And it says I only want to find the measure of one angle. So I'm going to do 540 divided by 5. So divide that by 5, and I get 108 degrees. Okay? A pottery mold makes bowls that are in the shape of a heptagon. Find the measure of one of the interior angles of a bowl. So this is what I remember. Hexagon has an X in it, just like the number 6. Okay, so that's how I remember it. So hexagon is 6. Heptagon is 7. So that's how I remember the difference between a hexagon and a heptagon. And I've known what an octagon and a pentagon are because we use them quite often in the real world. Or again, you can go back to this chart. If you're like, oh, I'm not going to remember this, here's your chart again. Okay, folks. So heptagon is 7. Let's plug it in. So 7 minus 2 times 180. So 5 times 180. And that equals 900. But it asks for just one of the interior angles. So what do? Divide by 7. So 900 divided by 7. And we get some crazy number. So roughly 128.6, roughly. Okay? All right, you guys. So now let's work out the next two. So now we have one of the angles, okay? So we have one of the interior angles, and we need to work backwards. We need to figure out find the number of sides in the polygon. All right, so we have an interior angle. We have the interior angle. Now we need to figure out the number of sides. So we kind of need to work backwards, okay? So this is a little bit trickier. So we're going to take 180, and we're going to subtract that from 150, okay? So 180 minus 150 is a 30. Okay. Then from here, we're going to divide that number from 360. Okay. So 180, think of your equation where we had n minus 2 times 180, right? So we has something to do with 180, and then the 360, we're going to be talking soon about the exterior angle. So that's kind of why this combination works. And then I take this number, the 30, and divide it by 360. So I have 360 divided by 30, and I get 12. Okay? 12 is the number of sides. Then if you're like, I don't know if that works, well, you can work backwards then. So 180, okay, times 12 minus 2. And what do you get? You get 10 times 180. And that's 1800, right? And then you're going to divide that by 12 and see what you get. And you get 150. Okay, so that's how you can kind of check. So let's try this one more time. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 180 minus the difference of what your side is. And then whatever your answer is, you're going to then divide it from 360. And then that's going to tell you n, the number of sides. Okay, so those are the steps in order to, if you have one of the interior angles and you need to find the number of sides. Okay, so let's plug it in. So 180 minus 144, plug that into your calculator. Again, you should be practicing in your calculator, so then you're solving these steps. Okay, then I take the 36 and I divide it by 360. Well, and for this one, that's pretty easy because it becomes 10. Perfect. So 10 is the number of sides. And there we go. Perfect. Now we're going to be talking about exterior angles, okay? All exterior angles, guys, add up to 360. No matter how big that polygon is, all the exterior angles add up to 360, whether it's a quadrilateral, a nonagon, or a octagon or a heptagon, okay? They all add up to 360. So all these angles added together are 360, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine like terms so it's a lot easier to handle because we need to find the value of x. So 4, let me pick a different color. So I've got 4, 5, 4, 5, 5, 2, and 6. Let's add those together. So that is 31x when you add all the x's together. And then I'm going to combine the constants. So negative 12, 3, 3, negative 5, negative 6, and positive 5. So add those up. So all of those added up is negative 12. And again, it's going to equal 360. Okay? We're talking exterior angles now. I'm going to add 12 to both sides, and I get 31x equals 372. Divide 31 to both sides. And x equals, so let's put that into our calculator. So 372 divided by 31 is 12. X equals 12. That's the value of x. Awesome. Okay, now let's try this next one. So find the measure of each interior angle of a regular decagon. Okay, find the value of x in the diagram. Okay, so first we need to find the value of x, and then you can plug it back into each of them. All right. So let's add them up. Okay, so what is the value of x? And then you need to add up all the constants. All right, and then x equals 14 once you subtract 10 and divide 25. So subtract 10, 25x equals 350. And then you want to divide 25 to both sides, and you get x equals 14. Then it says, find the measure of each of them. So what are you going to do? You're going to plug 14 into each of these and find the value. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to solve one of them, and then you guys can finish this up. So 5 times 14, and then add 2 to it. Okay, 5 times 14, and then plus 2 is 72. So this is 72 degrees for this angle. You'll do it for each of the rest. You need to practice. So multiplying each of them out and solving. All right, so that is the end of day 1A. You're going to also want to go to day 1B video and check that out. Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a great day.